Hey babe, you're not possessed, right?
Of course not. Here, look at this cute cat.
I'm sorry, babe. I have to do this. So you just moved into a new house, but strange things keep happening. Your windows keep opening on their own. Someone's leaving pizza for you when you get back home. And there's a cute anime boy in your bedroom. Wait, what? But you will not be tempted. You've got a boyfriend of your own who might be hiding a secret of his own. As a note, this is a horror game, so please do keep these warnings in mind, and let's get to the cute ghost boy. This place, it's bigger than I expected. For the price you paid, it's surprisingly nice, though a bit dusty. The apartment looks almost new, like someone had been keeping it in shape. Alright, enough lounging around. Time to get to work. You stand back up and let out a huff, preparing yourself to unpack the last box. The last box lands on the living room floor with a thud. You kneel to open it and your thoughts start to drift. You didn't exactly leave home on the best terms. You remember how he scorned your interest and pushes you to his predetermined path. Are we talking about father? Your father? Yeah, I called it. The look on his face, cold, rigid, as if you were a fool for even daring to dream. He never understood. He never wanted to understand. To him, you were just a rebellious kid, chasing a fantasy. Not someone who has sacrificed your life just to meet his standards. Because you thought being a good child meant giving up your own dreams. But even after everything that you've done for him, he's never been kinder. Not even when he needed something. Always expecting. Always demanding. And that was the tipping point. You packed up what little you have and kept your plans to yourself until you found this place. Cheap and quiet, in a town so small it doesn't even show up on some maps. But you don't care. The landlord had nothing bad to say about the place and she seemed pleasant enough. Plus, it's closer for Abel to visit, which means hopefully he'll see you more often now. After a bit more arrangement, you look around the house again. For the first time in a long while, you feel a sense of accomplishment. This is pretty nice. Finally, a place I can call my own. Guest? You hear a knock on the door. Unexpected. Hi? You walk over and swing it open to find a smiling neighbor holding a cake. Welcome to the neighborhood. You notice their voice sounds overly chipper and how their eyes dot nervously past you. We didn't think anyone would move in so soon. The place has been empty for a while. Yeah, I was surprised too. It's a real nice... Right? Very nice. Anyway, welcome. We, hope you like it here. Really. You hesitate on taking the cake they offer, but then they thrust it into your hands. I don't really eat. It's okay, just enjoy the cake. It's what we do here. And yeah, good luck. The hell you mean by good luck? You barely finish your sentence, but they're already waving you off with what looks like a forced smile. You feel a bit bewildered by the abruptness. Why did they seem to be in such a hurry? You step back into the house and close the door behind you. Looks like you'll have to wait until next time to return the gesture. You set the cake aside and take one last sweeping glance around the room. This place is yours now. A place where you can feel fresh, away from the life you left behind. Okay, I think it's time to look for a job. You sink into your chair and open your laptop. You start thinking of the last job you had as you browse for new ones. Maybe quitting that job wasn't the best idea, but with the move, the commute would have been a nightmare. Maybe you do need to change your workplace for a really fresh start. A sigh escapes you as you start searching for remote work. You scroll through job listings and find a few that look interesting, but nothing quite grabs you. Just as you're starting to feel a bit discouraged, a video call notification pops up on your screen. You glance at a notification and see Abel's name. You hesitate for a moment before deciding on picking it up. Hey, babe. How's the move going? Need any help? Abel's greeting sounds as familiar as ever. Hey, babe. It's going okay, thanks. I just finished unpacking. What about you? You hear Abel let out a quiet chuckle and see him nod. That's great to hear. You know how it is for me. Busy. But hey, I'm close to landing an internship at this hospital. It's a big opportunity. Your eyes widen a bit in surprise. He always surprises you with his achievements. Whoa, that's awesome. But isn't that place pretty far? Yeah, it's gonna be a 4-hour round trip, so 8 hours daily on the commute. But don't worry, it'll still make time for you. Your new place is closer anyway, so it works out. You've known your boyfriend, Abel, for years now. He has his moments of slacking off, but he always catches up in the end somehow. And just like now, surprising you with his achievements. You never quite question how he does it. He always ends up succeeding, no matter the challenge. I'm really happy you landed the offer. Just please don't overwork yourself. Of course, babe. I'll be fine. I'll make sure to see you soon, okay? Even if I'm a bit busy, you're always my priority. You smile at his familiar words, the set of words you've heard many times before. I know you will. I'll be here whenever you're free. I'll make sure to call you more often so you won't miss me too much. I love you, darling. You smile at his words. I love you too, Abel. You end the call and shift your focus back to your job search. You think about the conversation you just had with your boyfriend, letting out a small sigh as you do. Abel is like the exact opposite of you in many ways. He has it all. He had opportunities that you're still striving for, but he would always assure you not to feel inferior to him, telling you that he'd help you along his way too. That's what he always promised after all. 30 minutes later. No, you could hear your stomach rumbling loudly, reminding you that it's well past time for dinner. You realize you haven't been looking at the clock up until now. It's not like you've been entirely focused on the job search, honestly. You were procrastinating more than you'd like to admit. You stand up and stretch while feeling the tension in your shoulders ease. You quickly head to the kitchen to cook something. You decide on making something simple. Heat up a frozen meal you've brought with you. Doesn't take long for your meal to be ready. You pick up the plate from the microwave. You bring your food to the living room, settling on the couch. You've never been able to stand doing anything without background noise. It makes you uncomfortable when it gets too quiet. You reach for the remote and turn the television on. You begin to eat slowly with your eyes on the screen. You're not really paying attention to whatever's on the screen. You just need a background noise. You grip your spoon and begin to eat. A soft thudding comes from behind you. What? You freeze, your spoon hovering in mid-air as you turn around and scan the room. Your eyes flick down, expecting to see something had fallen, maybe a book or a picture frame out of place. But no. Your gaze rests on the cabinet, with the vase on top of it, and that's when you notice something off. You rise from your seat to observe the dahlias in the vase. You notice something about it has changed now. They were pink. You're sure of it. But now one of the flowers has turned a deep, unnatural shade of black. You feel a knot form in your stomach as the realization dawns on you. How is this possible? That is so weird. You had been looking forward to receiving these flowers from Abel, and now you try to make sense of it. Is it decaying? But flowers don't turn black when they wilt. They turn yellow, brown. You don't want to think too much about it, at least for now. You reach out, crumbling the black dahlia and throwing it inside the trash can. It feels fresh between your fingers. It was not decaying at all. Its petals has just turned black for whatever reason. Afterwards, you immediately rinse the dishes and head straight for a shower. You feel the hot water relax your body, giving yourself a calming sensation. You step out of the shower and dry off before slipping into your pajamas. You settle into the bed, fixing up your blanket and pillows before you get comfortable for the night. You stare at the ceiling for a moment, letting out a quiet sigh as you pull the blanket closer to your chest. You don't know what it is about this place. There's a quietness that you like, a sense of calmness that wraps around you like a soft embrace. But something about this place also makes you feel slightly uneasy. You drift off to sleep. You feel like someone is watching you. Nope, not dealing with that, no. You're not sure if you can move your body. You try to stay alert, but your eyelids feel too heavy. The figure only looms closer as you try to focus. Throughout the night, you feel someone's gaze watching your every move. The next morning, you're already sitting on the couch with your breakfast in one hand and cell phone in the other. You scroll through your inbox as you take small bites, hoping to see a response from the jobs you applied for yesterday. Nothing yet. Typical. A sigh slips out, but you remind yourself that these things take time. Switching over to your messenger app, you check to see if Abel has texted you back. Still nothing from him either. For a moment, you consider sending him another message, but you hesitate. Nah, he's probably just caught up with work. The sun is bright today. To take your mind off your worries, you decide to take a walk around the neighborhood and familiarize yourself with the area. The air feels cool with a light breeze that rustles your hair as you stroll. You pass a few familiar faces, the same ones you saw on your first walk after moving in. It's a small town, that much is clear. There aren't many houses inside either, just trees and old weathered houses. Even the place you're living in now feels aged, like it's been standing there for years. You get the sense that in a town like this, everyone knows each other. You wipe the sweat off your forehead and shrug off your jacket as you walk back inside your house. You notice a faint scent of something in the air. A cologne. But it's not the one that you recognize. It's a lingering, distinct scent that feels out of place in your home. You pause to glance around, but everything seems normal. You focus and try to identify the scent, but it doesn't belong to anything or anyone you know. You feel the scent fade as you try to focus on it. Maybe it's an old scent from the previous occupant. You must not have cleaned this place as thoroughly as you thought. But you also don't remember ever smelling anything like that when you first moved in. If it were from the previous tenant, you would have noticed it before. Yeah, I should probably clean this place better. You decide to do a little more cleaning before moving on, hoping that whatever caused the scent doesn't come back. Later in the night, you return back into your job search. You still haven't heard back from any of the jobs you applied to. So you've been at it for hours now, and you can use a little break. You decide to unwind by browsing articles about the area you moved into, hoping to familiarize yourself with the neighborhood. But you discover that there's not much to read either. The suburb's calm atmosphere is a far cry from the relentless energy of the city you used to live in. Compared to life back at your dad's place in the busy city, it's almost unsettling how calm this little town is. You get lost in reading, digging deeper into the history of the place. You feel curious about your new surroundings. After a while, you stumble upon an article from about a year ago. The past resident of a certain house on Cedar Street was found dead under mysterious circumstances 5 years prior. The young man, in his mid-20s, was discovered hanging in his home. However, further investigation, your phone suddenly buzzes with an incoming call from your father. You stare at it, feeling anxiety settle in your chest. The memory of the last conversation you had with him makes you hesitant to pick it up. You reach out to decline the call, but before you can tap the screen, It disconnects on its own. You haven't even clicked the hang up button yet. You think it was strange, but you try and tell yourself that it might just be a glitch or an issue with the screen. You let out a sigh and set the phone aside, picking up your journal instead. You flip to a fresh page, journaling your thoughts and daily experiences that has been somewhat helpful for regulating your emotions. Often, the entries end up being more like random ramblings and venting than organized thoughts. After a bit of writing, you set your pen down and decide to reread what you've written. What you've written today isn't exactly what you'd hope for, but it's okay. I should get some rest. It's getting late. You close the book and decide it's time for bed. That night, you find yourself back at the living room. Someone is flipping through the pages of your journal. I see. You. With him. Whatever. You're the same as me. Just as I expected, huh? That man too. Your diary entries are funny. Why do you keep so much to yourself? When you could have shared your struggles with me. Okay? You wake up earlier than usual this morning. You still feel tired, as if you'd barely slept at all. You had a strange dream last night. It was so vivid. Someone's reading a journal and commenting on the entries. The relationship you have with your family, and then with Abel, among other things. You climb out of bed and rub your eyes while heading to your desk to check for any email replies from your job applications. Your heart skips a beat when you see a new email from one of the places you applied to. Finally, a response. You quickly open the email and read through it. They want to schedule an interview? Yeah! Just as you are processing the email, you receive an incoming video call from Abel. Hey babe, good morning. I really had to share this immediately. Today was amazing. I got to assist in an actual surgery. You smile, feeling a bit of his excitement through the screen as you speak. Whoa, that's incredible. You must have been so nervous. Yeah, I was, but once we started, it all just clicked, you know? God, I'm still buzzing from it. Yeah, I can imagine. You're really getting into the thick of it now. Totally. I'm so excited for the next time I'll assist the team. We have a lot more planned, and I get to talk to a famous neurodoctor too, which was just so cool. I'll be sure to tell you all about it later. But also, how was your morning going? Anything exciting on your end? You smile to yourself, nodding as you think about what to say. Actually, yeah. I just got an email for an interview for one of the jobs I applied to. No way, that's awesome! I need to start getting responses soon. Abel's eagerness from the news makes you feel validated in a way. Thanks, Abel. I'm a little nervous though. You'll do great, I know it. Just be yourself and they'll see how amazing you are. Your smile widens at his encouragement. It's always hard to just take what everyone says to you as is, but you try to make an exception for Abel. You nod, your voice coming out a little quieter than expected. I hope so. Anyway, it's nice to hear from you. You're so sweet. I did tell you I was gonna call you more often from now on, didn't I? Also, I hate to leave so quickly, but I gotta go now. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Abel. Love you. Love you too! Go crush that interview! The room goes quiet as Abel hangs up. Okay, this is time for the interview now. The interview went well. It's a bit odd that you were hired on the spot, but at least you have a job now. I don't need to dwell on the negative. Yeah, I should just be glad that I scored a job. You tell yourself that, stretching in your seat and looking around your desk for a journal. But it's nowhere to be found. You keep looking around, but you still can't find it. You were sure you put it on your desk last night. You step outside, looking for it in the living room. Instead, despite thinking it's unlikely, you always put it back in the same place each time after you write, after all. But to your surprise, you find it there, on the couch, sprawled open, like someone had been reading it. Someone. The sight of it immediately reminds you of the very vivid dream you had the other night. The dream where someone was flipping through your journal pages and commenting on the entries. You feel uneasy, because the book is really here, in the living room now, just like how it was in the dream. It really felt like it wasn't just a dream at all. You hastily picked up your journal and secured it in your grasp, sitting down on the couch. You take your pen and open the book, tapping the pen against the edge of the book to try and find the right words to write. You hope journaling your thoughts right now would help you as a distraction from that weird dream you had. After a moment, you managed to start writing about your day eventually. Today, you landed an interview and secured a job. You also started jotting down thoughts about Abel and the things he's mentioned about his internship. Huh? You feel a strange sensation creeping up on you. A cool gust of wind brushes the back of your neck. You pause your writing and set the book and pen aside, looking up and glancing around the room frantically. Your eyes land on the window, now slightly ajar and rattling softly in the wind. Oh no! The window decoration Abel gave me! It has flown away with the wind. No. You feel bad now. You can't recall whether you locked it or not. You decide to close it before continuing to write. I really liked that one. Should have made sure I locked the window tight. As you settle back down and pick up your journal again, you notice a change in the air. The room feels much colder than it was earlier. You glance at the window again, thinking it must be the cause. When you peek outside, there's barely a breeze. The wind is almost non-existent. You sigh softly as you try to focus on writing about Abel in your journal, but you still feel a chill from earlier. You shake your head and try again, yet you can't focus. For some reason, you kept wanting to glance over your shoulder repeatedly. A part of you expects to see someone there, because it certainly feels like someone is staring at you. But of course, there's no one. What were you thinking? You turn to your journal book again, trying to pour some more of your thought onto the paper. But despite the words in front of you, your mind keeps drifting back to what happened earlier. Is it just a lack of sleep finally catching up to you? You're not sure anymore of what's causing it. Lack of sleep would really explain these paranoid thoughts you're having lately. You let out a sigh and put the journal aside, telling yourself that the mental exhaustion is all there is to it. There's no point in journaling if you can't even concentrate. You carried the journal with you to the bedroom, and this time, you made sure to put it on the bedside table. You still feel uneasy as you crawl under the covers and try to push away these thoughts, the way the journal just moved to your living room this morning. You glance at the journal one last time to make sure it's still where you left it. It's still there. Exactly where you left it this time. You turn the lights off and close your eyes. You're lying on your bed. The room is almost completely black, save for the faint slivers of moonlight slipping through the gaps in your blinds. You blink and you try to adjust your eyes, but something feels off. You can't move your body. You try to sit up and lift even a finger, but it's like you're frozen in place and trapped in your own flesh. Oh, not you again! You glance around the room and see something moving near the bedside table. A slender figure holding a book. A book. It's your journal, isn't it? Oh, nope, don't come any closer! It's there, and it's watching you. You can't see the eyes, but you feel them. Piercing, unblinking, and fixated on you. Okay! The figure looms closer, but doesn't seem to be walking. It glides instead. It reaches out a hand towards your face, just inches above your skin. The freezing contact of its hand on your skin leaves you with an uneasy sensation. You. Finally. I can use. Oh. This will be interesting. Don't wake up yet. The hell is he doing? You gasp, sitting up on the bed with cold sweat and heart pounding in your chest. It's morning. You rub your eyes, trying to shake off the lingering unease from your dream. You don't know what it is that you saw in your dreams. You don't understand. It felt so real. The figure you saw in your dream. The way it spoke to you. The way it touched you. All of it. It felt so cold. You can't concentrate on your job at all today. The dream still feels very fresh in your mind. You shake your head and try to put those thoughts aside, but you keep thinking back about it. You tell yourself to keep focusing and just get the task done for the day because you'll be able to leave soon. As the sun sets and you clock out of work, you drag yourself into the kitchen with exhaustion. You think of making yourself something nice to unwind after the day. You stop in your tracks when you step inside. You spot your favorite drink sitting perfectly prepared on the counter, complete with a straw and a small variety of your favorite biscuits. You don't remember setting this up even earlier in the day before. Did I? No, I didn't make this. You have mixed feelings, trying to recall if you'd prepared it earlier, but you're so certain you didn't. You want to question it further and find out, but you feel too tired to do that. You pick up the drink and take a long sip before sitting back. The cold, familiar taste brings a bit of comfort after the long day. You finish the snack and then the drink shortly after. You feel a bit more at ease now. You still don't want to think how those food got out of the fridge, so you decide it's time to head to bed. It's been a few days since weird things began happening. The more it happens, the more you can't ignore it any longer. Things in your home keep moving, subtle yet unmistakable. For example, those weirdly vivid dreams of the figure checking out your journal and trying to speak with you. The snacks you had in your fridge, all set up on the counter after a long day of work. The flowers Abel gave you rot so much faster, and the window keeps opening itself. Your journal in particular is always open on the table, pages sprawled as if someone had been reading it. It's clear. Someone's been here. But it can't be an intruder. You're always here, and there's never a sign of a break-in. Your heart races as you scan the room again, searching for anything else out of place. You check the locks, the windows. Everything is secure. There are no signs of forced entry, no clue that someone has been inside. But the sense of intrusion lingers. It feels like more than a coincidence. Perhaps the house is haunted? After all, you did get this place at a suspiciously low price. Shaking your head, you try to dismiss the thought and sink into the sofa. Your eyes keep drifting between the clock and your phone. Abel should have been here an hour ago. He promised to visit you this week after all. But still, no message, no sign of him, nothing. It's getting late. Maybe he's not coming after. You hear a knock on your door. Is it Abel? Hey! You open the door to see a familiar face. Abel, standing at your doorstep. He finally has the time to stop by your place. Hey, babe. I'm so glad I can be here. Finally. You force a smile on your face to mask your disappointment at his lateness, although you can still feel it weighing on your heart deep down. Sorry it's been so hectic for me. I would have texted and called you more often, but you know how things go in my internship, babe. It's not that I didn't want to call you, okay? I just didn't have the time to. You just keep nodding as you hear Abel go on about his day, while you welcome him inside your place. Nothing new. Excuses you've heard from him time and time again. Oh, and also, you two make your way inside and sit down on the sofa and face each other. Anyway, I'm glad moving out went smoothly for you. How has it been living here? Finally, my first set of choices. I am going to save and tell Abel about the strange occurrences. Actually, Abel, some weird things have been happening here. What happened? You hesitate for a moment. You're not sure how to phrase it properly. You don't want him to think that you're crazy. Because you know he doesn't believe in the supernatural. My things, they were moved around. But there's no signs of anyone breaking in. Abel's expression hardens immediately at your revelation. Wait, what? Why didn't you tell me sooner? I've told you to always tell me if something happens. I don't want to find out this way. I knew it. Someone's watching you. I knew it. It's surprising to hear him curse under his breath with such resentment. That creep. I knew it. He's been hanging around. Should have never let him alone. Nope, Abel! It's not like that. There were no signs of anyone getting in. I'm telling you, it's not some stalker. Well, it probably is, but still, it's a ghost! Abel stares at you like he didn't quite hear you right. Ghost? What makes you think so? Ghosts don't exist. You shake your head at his words, hoping for him to hear you out. It's true. These strange things keep happening, and I've been having the most bizarre dreams lately. The flowers you gave me, they wilt and rot so quickly, no matter how fresh they are. And the decoration you gave me, it blew away in the wind, even though I swear I locked the windows. My journal. Someone's been reading it. I know, because I see them in my dreams. And then even my snacks. I'm starting to feel like something is watching me, like I'm not alone, even when the room's empty. There's something in this place. I don't know what it is, but it's always there. I tried ignoring it because, yeah, ghosts don't exist, right? But I can't keep pretending anymore. Something is wrong. This place seemed perfect. Quiet, spacious, really cheap. But now I think it makes sense. Maybe this is why it's so affordable. Abel's expression turned sour as you explained. You can tell he's still not sure about believing what you just told him. Did she even check the history of this place before moving in? No, I mean, kinda. There was this news piece I found. It talked about someone dying close by, but nothing specific. You realize you didn't finish reading the article last time you stumbled upon it. You can't even remember the vague details. I'll look into it later. But for now, we need to get out of here. Fast. Wait, what? Where are we even going? I haven't even finished paying for this place. To my place. Don't worry about the rent. I'll cover it. I just want you to be safe, okay? Abel's tone leaves no room for argument. He's already on his feet, grabbing your things and shoving them into your bag. But... no buts. Trust me, okay? I know what's best for you. You could see the way his hands shake slightly as he packs your things. Whatever's going on with this house, Abel clearly believes it's serious. The car hums softly as you sit beside Abel, who's focused on the road ahead. Just be careful next time, alright? I can't have you getting caught up in whatever this mess is. His voice is firm, but there's an undercurrent of worry that you've never heard before. But he also seems weirdly agitated. But why? What? Why are you in such a hurry? I could have packed my things myself. It's just dangerous there. You get it? I promise you. I'll look into the house history later, but I just have to get you out of there first. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't understand why he's so hurried now. Usually he's more laid back, more patient even when you tell him something is bothering you. But seeing him like this, you realize just how much he cares. Okay. You feel bad for doubting him until now. Months pass, and life in Abel's spacious home feels different, comfortable. The regrets of not asking for his help sooner gnaws at you. His place is so much nicer and safer. You never doubt his feelings for you anymore. You feel like ever since you moved to his place, you two have gotten so much closer. Good luck at work today, Abel. Thank you. Yeah, I'll make time for you tonight, okay? We need to go on a date soon. It sure has been a while. You smile and let him kiss you one more time before he finally leaves. You turn around to return to your room, feeling relieved. But you suddenly feel a sudden, searing pain shoot through your head. Like something knocked you over. Ah! The echoing throb that makes you wince. Took you long enough to notice, huh? This time, it's my turn to ruin your life over. You think I've left? You recognize this voice echoing in your head. It's Crowley's. Who? It feels like an oppressive force is wrapping around you, like a vice. Stop! No, I didn't want to do it this way, but I guess I'll have to. Abel doesn't deserve to be happy. Crowley! You try to fight it, but you're not strong enough to. Your voice falters as his presence suffocates you. Abel arrives home, the weight of the day hanging heavily on him. Hey, baby, I'm home. Hello, welcome back home. You walk forward with a smile on your face, greeting Abel as usual with warmth. You're holding a knife behind your back. Abel, don't step closer! It's been a long day, darling. Why don't I give you a hug? You're being very sweet. Of course I'd love to hug you. No, you don't want to hug him. Not this way! Not when you're holding a knife in your hand, hidden behind your back. Ready to stab him. Come here, Abel. You see Abel chuckle at your affectionate tone as he steps closer to you with his arms open. Okay. That was very anticlimactic. No. You step back, still holding onto the knife that is now stained with Abel's blood. A knife? Babe, why did you just... Crowley's voice strokes your thoughts, urging you to stab him even stronger. He deserves this. He's always taken everything from you. Your time, your life, your love. It's about time you take something back. We're similar in a way. Babe, why did you just... You stop just right in front of Abel. He looks at you with wide, terrified eyes, pleading silently. No, Abel, I don't want to stab him again! No! But your body moves forward again, ready to land another stab on him. No, I don't want to do this. No, please! And a 303, possession. Right, maybe telling him the truth was not a good idea. Also, I don't trust you. I really don't trust Abel. I have a feeling there are some things that we definitely need to talk about, but I'm gonna hide it and brush it off. Yeah, it's been alright. The place has been treating me well. The neighbors have also been nice to me too. Abel smiles, looking relieved that you're not showing signs of being troubled. Good. I was a little worried. But let's not get caught up in all that. His eyes roam around your place for a moment. You've got a cozy setup here. Feels warm. Thank you, Abel. I'm glad you think so. Your heart skips a beat. Someone's standing behind Abel, staring at him. But before he can focus, the figure disappears already. It reminds you of the shape you saw in your dreams. You shake your head and focus back on Abel. Oh, and babe, about last year, I still owe you that birthday gift. I've been meaning to make it up to you. That sounds great, Abel. You smile, but it feels false, like muscle memory more than genuine excitement. You're no longer excited for any of the things he said. It's been hectic lately, but things are calming down. We'll finally have time to do all the things we've been talking about. Remember that trip we planned to? I'm serious this time. We'll make it happen. I know I've been busy, but you're always my priority. You just nod. He says it so casually, as if it's the first time he's making these promises. Missed birthdays, missed date plans, you've heard it all before. Last year, the year before that. You keep hoping things will change, even when deep down you know better. That's why you're still here. I get it, Abel. Don't worry about it. No, seriously, you deserve something special. Soon, I promise. You know how his voice perks up, trying to distract you with new promises. How about we do something fun together now? You look a little tired. Come on, let's watch a movie and cuddle or something. I know it's your favorite thing. You sit together on the couch with Abel's arm lazily wrapped around your waist. The glow of the TV flickers in the room as a horror movie plays. It's playing something about an exorcist battling an evil spirit. But your mind has drifted off somewhere else. The scenes on the TV remind you of the strange occurrences in your house. A priest trying to banish a malevolent spirit from the house. It gives you an idea. Maybe you can call an exorcist to look into this place as well. I honestly don't believe in ghosts, but these movies are always so fun to watch. Abel's voice pulls you out of your thoughts. I know you don't, love. You've never believed in spiritual things. Aw, you remember. Yeah, I don't. They're ridiculous. You know, I won't ever mind watching these kinds of stuff with you, babe. It's for your entertainment, after all. You just smile at his words, finding his voice feeling a little forced. Oh, but are you enjoying this one in particular? You seem a little out of it. You're being kinda quiet tonight. What's wrong? Abel sets the bowl of snacks aside and leans closer to you, his eyes searching yours. Oh no, I'm just a little tired. He pulls you closer, pressing a soft kiss to your cheek. You let him do it as usual, even though something about it feels off. His affection doesn't reach you the way it usually does. You're tired, aren't you? Let me make it better. You're too tired to say anything. You push these strange feelings aside and just let Abel continue despite the unease gnawing at you. The hell? The morning light filters through the curtains, waking you up. Abel's arm drapes lazily around your waist, his lips brushing against your neck. Morning, babe. You stir, pulling yourself out of the haze of sleep. Morning. We've really needed that, didn't we? I don't know what I'd do without you. You already know this moment won't last. He isn't here for you, just for the convenience of having you. You're always there for me, and I'm so grateful for you. Be patient. We'll make more time together soon, okay? His words feel sweet, but empty, like a sugar coating on something hollow. Yeah, sounds good. You know, like, I've got that offer coming. Yeah, you've told me that before. The words slip out before he can stop them. He blinks at you, as if surprised by the bite in your voice. Oh, did I? I'm sorry, babe. I just want to keep you in the loop. You are my priority. You nod, tired of arguing. You know why he was late last night, out with coworkers, spending time and money on them. You saw his friend's status updates on his social medias after all. He talks like he cares, but his actions tell a different story. You force a smile, leaning in to kiss him softly even though your heart isn't in it. It's okay, Abel. I understand. Thank you. I look forward to everything you have planned out for us. You see his gaze immediately soften, like a compliance reassures him. You're so understanding. I love you so much. I love you too. The words sting in their falseness, but you nod. He kisses you again, as if that's enough to keep you around, and maybe it is. For him. I'll be back soon, babe. You know I hate leaving you. I hope you have a good day, love. The front door closes, and the silence that follows is deafening. You lie still and feel the emptiness returning, heavier than ever now. The sheets feel colder without him. I should shower. You drag yourself out of bed with a loud sigh. You twist the faucet and let warm water cascade down your body. It always helps calm you down. Still, your mind wanders back to Abel amidst the stillness. You know, this is how it's always going to be. Abel will come into your life only to leave again, while you wait. And wait. But the truth is, you can't seem to free yourself from his hold. After a few minutes, you finish up and step out of the shower. You towel yourself off and change into a fresh change of clothes. On your way to the bedroom to unwind, you freeze. You spot an unfamiliar figure standing in the corner of your vision. You blink, and suddenly, the figure materializes in front of you. Oh my god, hello! Okay, I don't mind that you were watching me all this time anymore. I don't mind at all. What the? Your voice falters as you take in the figure standing before you. Oh, come on. No need for the dramatic reaction. Your heart races as you realize what you're seeing. This isn't a person. It's a ghost. Who? What are you? The ghost sighs, rubbing his neck while his glowing green eyes study you. Chill out, okay? I'm not here to hurt you. The name's Crowley, and yeah, I'm a ghost. Crowley? What do you want? He sighs again, his form flickering slightly as he glides closer. Look, I know this is freaky, but I'm not here to scare you. Well, not in the haunt you kind of way. I do live here though, so technically, yeah, I guess I do haunt you. But right now, I'm trying to protect you. Protect me? From what? Well, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Have you noticed anything strange lately? Stuff moving around, feeling like you're being watched? You nod slowly, the unsettling memories of recent days flooding back. Yeah, but Listen, I know all about that, alright? You've brought something else with you when you moved in. A bad spirit. It's been messing with this place, and I've been trying my best to keep it at bay behind the scenes. And I'm just supposed to believe you? You really can't just bring yourself to believe a ghost's word so easily. What reason do they have to lie? They're dead! They have nothing to lose! I know it's a lot to take in, but I'm telling you the truth. Really, I'm not the one you should be worried about. I think I should be worried about Abel, actually. There's something else here, and it's not gonna leave you alone unless I help. It's a dangerous spirit, one that could harm actual human beings. Its presence is bothering my peace as well. I've been doing what I can to make it leave. You stare at him, unsure of what to say now. His eyes, although not entirely human, seem earnest. I can get rid of it for you. No hassle, but you have to trust me. I know what you were thinking. No exorcist, okay? Believe me, it'll only make things worse for us. You don't know what to believe. Could he be telling the truth? The thought of another spirit being here, especially one with malicious intent, scares you more than it should. Do I really have a choice? You can feel Crowley's gaze remain fixated on you. Please, let me help you. You swallow hard and try to weigh your options. The idea of trusting a ghost feels insane, but the alternative... You think to yourself, you should ask some more questions from him to really gauge his intentions. You know, I'm not stupid. Who said you're stupid? Crowley looks at you with a hint of surprise, looking almost offended at what you're implying. How do I know you're telling the truth? You could be the one doing all this and you're just claiming to be a good guy. Are you serious? Look, I'll be blunt. If I wanted to hurt you, I could have done it already. But I don't. I'm stuck here, bound to this place. So really, I've got no choice but to keep that spirit away from this place. His pair of sharp green eyes pierces into yours. So you just want me to agree and let you stay? Then what? You're just going to protect me out of the goodness of your heart? This is my place, mind you. Let me repeat it again. I am bound to this place. I can't just go haunt somewhere else. Think of it like a cat protecting its territory. This place is my home. So yeah, I want to keep it comfortable for me too. Bad spirits hanging around don't exactly help with that. That aside, you're in danger. And as a ghost, I know how to handle my kind better than humans. I'm your best shot at getting rid of this thing without making it worse. If you call it an exorcist, they might just stir it up, make it angrier. You could die in the process. Or maybe hurt the people around you. Or really, anyone that visits this place. His words make you think of Abel. What if the ghost goes after him? He just left earlier, but the thought lingers. You glance at him again, gauging his intentions. He doesn't look like an evil ghost, but can you be sure? Or I could just call an exorcist and get rid of both of you. You say you want to help, but you're a ghost too. Crowley lets out a dry laugh, shrugging. Groundbreaking insight there. Of course I'm a ghost. And yes, you can call an exorcist, but that's a gamble. An exorcist, a priest, whatever. They might not know the difference between me and the real threat. They could banish me and leave you defenseless against whatever's really haunting you. So what do I do? Just let you stay here and hope you're not lying? It's your call. If you let me stay, I'll prove it to you. It'll keep you safe, and you won't have to worry about that other spirit anymore. But if you choose the other way, well, Find out for yourself. What will you do?
I am inclined to listen to Crowley,
but it'd be really funny to keep the exorcist coming. I'm just gonna make a save here, and yep, gotta keep the exorcist coming. No, I'm not taking any chances. The exorcist is coming, and they're going to deal with all this, including you. What? You straighten your spine, injecting as much firmness into your voice as possible, even though fear churns inside you. You notice the shift in Crowley's expression, as well as the tension in the air. That's a mistake. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. All I know is that I can't trust some ghost who shows up unannounced and expects me to believe he's the good guy. And you think some stranger waving a cross and chanting in Latin will solve anything? Sure, they might get rid of me, but that other spirit? It'll just get stronger, more violent. A poltergeist isn't something you joke about. A flicker of doubt creeps through you at his words. I don't care. I'll take my chances. At least I'm doing something more trustworthy instead of trusting a ghost covered in blood with a noose around his neck. Oh, we're judging by appearances now. You don't know anything about me, about what I've been through. I was just trying to help you. If you want to be so stubborn, fine. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Is that a threat? Crowley lets out a shallow chuckle that feels bitter to you. Consider it advice. Good luck with the exorcism. Before he can respond, you see his form begin to waver, but his sharp, disdainful gaze remains fixed on you. You're just as stupid as your boyfriend is. Wait, you don't quite catch his last words, and he's already gone. A heavy weight settles in your chest as his presence fades from the room. You try to shake it off. You tell yourself like a mantra that you've made the right choice. It's fine, everything will be fine once the exorcist gets here. The following day, evening. You had decided to pay a visit to the nearby church the other day and got in contact with someone named Father Lucian. The knocking sound echoes through the quiet house, startling you out of your nervous pacing. Here goes nothing. You take a deep breath, steadying yourself before heading to the door. As you open it, you're greeted by a tall, imposing figure, dressed in a priestly robe. Greetings. I am Father Lucian. Did you call for an exorcist? You nod, swallowing the lump in your throat. Yeah, that's me. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Let's not waste any time then. Show me where you've noticed the disturbances. You lead him through the house, pointing out the areas where things have moved and the spots where the unsettling occurrences have happened. It's mostly been here, in the living room and my bedroom. Sometimes I feel like I'm being watched, like there's someone else here with me. These feelings of unease are common in places of spiritual disturbances. I'll need to perform a cleansing ritual throughout the house. It should take care of any lingering spirits. You nod and try to remain composed, even though your anxiety is evident in the way your hands tremble slightly. Will it be dangerous? Father Lucia gives you a reassuring look. There's always some risk when dealing with spirits, especially if they're malevolent. But with God's blessing, everything will be alright. Please, allow me. With that, he begins his preparations, drawing out various tools from a leather bag. They look like some candles, holy water, a crucifix, and a small bunch of sage. He lights the candles and murmurs prayers under his breath. I command you, spirit, reveal yourself! You are not welcome here! Your breath catches in your throat as you recognize the shadowy figure you've seen before in your dreams. You should have listened. It wasn't me. Please! Crowley? Stay back! Father Lucian raises his crucifix, his chant becoming a fierce command. Crowley's form flickers, but his gaze never leaves yours. This won't end well for you. You're making a mistake. In the name of the Holy Spirit, I banish you from this place! Father Lucian lowers the crucifix, his chest heaving as he catches his breath. There was indeed two spirits, one more stronger than the other. Thank you, Father. Is it really over? For now, yes. But I'll leave you with these protection charms. Stay vigilant. May God bless you. You accept the items with trembling hands, trying to convince yourself that it's finally over. It's over like that? You look at the holy water in your hands and sigh softly. The haunting is over, at least for now. It's really hard to believe any of this had happened in the first place. Feels so surreal. You place the charms on the table and head for the bathroom. You start showering, letting the water cleanse your body. Okay, I hope I'm having a good shower there. Once you're done, you put yourself into a fresh change of clothes and head towards the living room to put on a show. Someone's knocking on the door. Your heart skips a beat before you realize who it must be. Abel? Hey, babe. I saw a priest on the way here. Was he leaving your place? You pause, unsure of how to explain the events of the past few days. Without thinking, you step forward and wrap your arms around him, resting your head against his chest. Yeah, there's been a ghost. I didn't tell you sooner because I wasn't sure you'd believe me. Abel looks down at you, his brows furrowing for a moment. A ghost? Silly. You know we don't believe in that stuff. They don't exist. Despite his dismissive tone, he tightens his hold around you as he leads you inside. You whisper his name as you lean up to kiss him. His eyes light up in surprise, but he smiles and kisses you back. You look happy this evening. You smile against his lips, sinking into the comfort of his embrace. Let's step inside first, okay? The next morning, you blink awake and sit up. You look to the side and see Abel by your side. Your heart still feels heavy with the remnants of last night's events. Crowley's voice lingers in your mind. You still remember how his presence feels. But you shake it off and turn to Abel, who's still asleep beside you. You convince yourself that it was all just a bad dream. Without thinking, you wrap your arms around him and buried your face in his chest. Hey, it's been a while since you've been this clingy. He looks down at you with a soft smile, his hand brushing gently through your hair. You can't help but hold him tighter. You don't want to think about Crowley again. I'm just scared of ghosts, I guess. Your voice trembles, and Abel tightens his hold on you while pressing a gentle kiss on your forehead. I think we're okay now, right? Yeah, we're all right now, darling. Everything's okay. Ghosts don't exist, okay? You nod and decide to believe him, to believe that Crowley is truly gone and everything is finally returning to normal. Let's get you a distraction, okay? Speaking of, I do want to show you something I found. Oh. Abel pulls away slightly and reaches for his phone, scrolling for a moment before turning the screen towards you. On it is a picture of a black cat, its glossy fur and piercing eyes staring back at you. I made up my mind. I want to adopt this cat instead. I didn't know you liked black cats. Did you say they were scary? You raise an eyebrow, surprised by Abel's sudden enthusiasm. He had always mentioned black cats made him uneasy before. They're cute, you know. Am I hearing that, or... I don't know if I'm actually hearing that in the game, or if that's somewhere out here. Abel grins, tapping on the picture affectionately. I just thought a pet would help us feel not so lonely. And well, could be good for us, right? Something to bond over? He's still smiling. Before a brief moment, his expression changes. For just a second, Crowley's familiar smile overlaps Abel's face, mischievous, taunting. You freeze, a shiver running down your spine. Your heart pounds, the weight of realization hitting you like a ton of bricks. Crowley isn't gone. He's still here, and he's a part of Abel now. Abel. You try to speak, but the words catch in your throat. Oblivious to your internal panic, Abel just chuckles and smiles as Crowley stares at you through his eyes. So, what do you think? Should we get the cat? Ending 1 of 3. Dead lover. Is it really still Abel who's with you? Yeah, I'm gonna go for the ending which I actually wanted, which is to listen to Crowley. Alright, you can stay, but I'm watching you. You cross your arms, trying to project confidence despite the tremor in your voice. Trusting a ghost isn't exactly something you ever thought you'd be doing. But that's all I ask. You gave me a chance, so I'm going to prove it to you. He hovers a step back, looking oddly proud of himself for earning your trust. So, what happens now? There's a ritual we can do to get rid of this thing, once and for all. And how exactly do we do that? You watch as Crowley runs a hand through his messy black hair, the noose around his neck swaying slightly as he does so. We just need a couple of things for the ritual. It's not as dramatic as it sounds, but it'll bind the spirit and expel it from here, and give this place a temporary protection. I'll guide you through it when the time's right. You still feel a bit skeptical. Fine, but no weird surprises, okay? And stay out of my personal space when I do my own stuff. You hear him chuckle, a sound that surprisingly lacks any malice. I've always been an unobtrusive ghost, even all this time, you know? You feel his gaze linger on your face a little longer than it should. Well, catch you later. Oh, wait. Before he can finish, he already disappears into thin air. The cold, uneasy feeling in the room lifts as his presence fades. What a weird interaction. A few days later. Tonight's the day of the ritual. The other day, Crowley had told you about the things he'd need to perform the ritual. You learned that you can feel his presence in the room even without spotting him. Crowley is hovering nearby, his sharp eyes scanning the room. I could never perform the ritual myself because I'm a ghost. I can't touch any items, so I'm just here to guide you. You'll have to do exactly as I say, understand? Yeah, sure. What do I need to do? We need 3 items. The candles, the salt, and something personal to you. A token that ties you to this place. And one more thing. A photo of someone you care about deeply. I told you it will help strengthen the protection ritual. You prepared that one too for tonight, right? Yeah, I have it here. Good. Now put it there along with the other items. You hesitate. The only one that comes to mind is Abel. You nod and place them on the ground where Crowley floats nearby. Good. Now place the candles around the photo, the pendant and the salt. You do as he says, setting the candles carefully. Next, pour the salt a little more around the room. You begin pouring the salt, moving slowly and deliberately. Now, move the photo of your loved one in the center of the circle, so it's on top of everything else. These will act as your anchors, your guide during the ritual. You two love each other and would always want the best for one another, right?
I doubt that. I'm pressing X to doubt.
You swallow hard and nod, adjusting Abel's photo. The smiling photo of Abel feels almost out of place in this eerie setting. But you trust Crowley's instructions. Stand in front of the circle and hold on to your pendant. Close your eyes and focus on the connection you have to this place, to the person in the photo. Pour your intent into it. Protection, safety, anything positive. You stand still and clutch the pendant tightly. Your heart races as you close your eyes and try to focus. Abel's image flashes in your mind. Good. Now repeat after me. Crowley begins to chant in a low voice. You don't understand the language. The words are unfamiliar, but you mimic them as best as you can. Keep going. You're doing fine. You feel the tension in the air shifts heavier. You continue chanting as your voice starts to tremble slightly. The candles flicker, their flames stretching towards the ceiling as if reacting to the power in chanted words. For a moment, you can't feel Crowley's presence anymore. Crowley? You want to open your eyes and look around, but you suddenly feel his presence again, now right behind you. His presence seems to grow stronger now, more imposing than earlier. Focus. You can't see it, but I can. Don't let it distract you. You squeeze the pendant tighter, your voice growing louder and more confident as you continue the chant. The room trembles slightly, and you can feel the spirit's anger, its frustration at being held at bay. Almost there. Just a bit more. With one final burst of energy, you follow Crowley's lead and shout the last words of the chant. Everything is silent now. The oppressive presence that had been bearing down on you fades away, leaving behind a sense of calm. Open your eyes. You nod and follow Crowley's order, opening your eyes slowly and meeting his gaze with a faint smile. It's done. The spirits won't bother you anymore. It was a poltergeist. A poltergeist? Just like that? You ask, letting go of the pendant and setting it aside. I mean, that's all you can do from your end. The rest, I'll handle it like usual. Well, if you got nothing else to say, why don't you take your leave? Being in an attic as dusty as this shouldn't be nice for your lungs and nose. Well, what about you? Doesn't matter to me. Can't even feel the sunlight anymore. Now go and rest up. It's late. You humans need sleep. You're quite the loner type, aren't you? You can see Crowley's eyes widen momentarily as you say so, but he quickly grins and shrugs again. The black cat is possessing me. That's why I'm acting like one. You chuckle softly at his words. Now I understand why black cats are always associated with spooky things. It's because of you. He shrugs at you and smiles smugly. You decide to leave the attic. You wonder if it's really going to help. He did say he was on your side, but you still can't feel like you fully trust his words. Maybe you can see it next morning, in the following weeks from now on. You can no longer feel Crowley's presence. A few days later. In the days following the ritual, you notice a gradual shift in the atmosphere of the house. The odd occurrences that once plagued your daily life became less frequent. The unsettling feeling you had grown accustomed to has also faded away, now replaced by a sense of calm. It's as if the house is finally settling into a peaceful mood. You start to feel more at ease and reassured by Crowley's promise and the noticeable lack of disturbances. No more disappearing items, misplaced things, weird noises, hovering shadows, weird dreams, nothing. It seems that befriending Crowley and following his instructions led to a good outcome. You smile to yourself, feeling glad that you made the right decision. You never mention Crowley nor the ritual to Abel. You always consider telling him over the phone, but then you think better of it. You don't want to worry him or complicate things unnecessarily. Moreover, he told you himself that he doesn't believe in ghosts. You don't want him to think that you've gone crazy. Everything is fine now, so that's all that matters. You set your dishes in the sink and see Crowley there as you turn around. Told you it would work. You huff and smile, nodding at the smug way he said it. Looks like your little ritual worked wonders. The place feels normal again. Well, I told you it would. Glad to see you so at ease. You've grown to enjoy Crowley's presence ever since. Lately, you started to enjoy his occasional presence. He doesn't intrude, but often appears with a casual demeanor, as if he's just hanging out. Maybe you're even getting used to him just floating, gliding around as he moves. It's not as creepy as you first thought. As you chop down the vegetables in your hand, you glance over at Crowley, who has now moved to stand a little further away from the counter. He's watching you cook with a curious expression. I thought you're going to have another frozen food. Good to see you eating something healthy. You hear Crowley's voice behind you, and you look around to spot him. A ghost doesn't get to comment on my food choices. I was saying that you're a ghost thing. Can't come up with a better comeback? I studied to become a doctor back then. You pause for a moment and look at him. Oh, that's interesting. You see Crowley shifting his position, now leaning his elbow on the counter. Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know what I'm talking about, so it won't just be the generic eat healthy stuff. You can't help but laugh at his comment. Well then, ghost doctor, why don't you give your fellow ghost friends a medical checkup? What? You're so cheesy. You and Crowley laugh together. Maybe because of how quiet this town is, so much so that you're starting to enjoy the presence of even a ghost. Wish we could have talked like this when we were humans. You feel Crowley look at you with a hint of tenderness in his eyes. Behind that smugness, you'd never seen it before. If he wants to be human again, tell him a joke. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? For a split second, Crowley's expression changes like he hadn't expected you to question him. Huh? Oh, it means exactly that. I just miss some things I used to do back when I was human. That's all. Like what? You see Crowley hesitate, his gaze shifting away for a moment. You know, the little things. Eating, sleeping, just feeling alive, I guess. I never get the chance to actually grasp what I wanted back when I was alive. I like to think I almost had it. It slipped right through my grasp. No. Someone got in the way of it and took everything away from me. Everything. He looks back at you, dead in the eyes. Felt like a strange feeling, being trapped between worlds. I remember bits and pieces of what it was like to be alive, but I can't go back. I used to dwell on it too, I guess. But recently, I don't think that's the case. I see it as a chance of life again, just with more pros and cons. He looks around the room with a distant gaze. I've come to accept my place here. There are other things that matter now. Besides, I found a different kind of purpose here. That's certainly something, huh? Not gonna lie, the way you worded it was like we knew each other back when we were alive. Ah, no. It's just, yeah, back then. I meant that as in, missed out on a lot of things back when I was human. That's all. I studied way too much and tried to meet unrealistic expectations I've set for myself. Look where that got me. He shrugs dismissively, his smug smile seeming out of place amidst the heaviness of his words. Nah, no need to get emotional. Not feeling it anymore. Besides, being dead, being a ghost is good in its own way. You nod and let out a quiet chuckle, shaking your head at his mischievousness. Well, enough ghost talk. Wanna eat my meal now. Want me to read a story over it? No, thank you. You laugh as you pick up the plate and carry it over to the living room, while Crowley follows you behind. Dining together with him has become a frequent thing. Crowley's presence is once unsettling, but now has become oddly comforting now in the quietness of your new home. Even if you're still not entirely sure of his intentions. He may have a sharp tongue, but there's a certain kindness about him. You sit on the edge of your bed with your knees pulled up to your chest. Your phone feels heavy in your hand as you mindlessly scroll through short videos, not really paying attention to any of them. You can feel Crowley's presence in the room, even if you can't see his figure. You just know he's always nearby, gazing at you. Hey, it's about time you get used to my presence. You know I've been here this whole time, so you're about a little high to recognize my presence. Just greet me and I'll come close. His voice is soft and teasing as usual, as he hovers near your bed. Especially after I helped you get rid of that troublesome poltergeist. I think it's about time you get used to me. I wouldn't call it fear, Crowley. It's just, not every day you wake up and realize you can see a ghost. Let alone talk to one. You can't expect me to just get used to it. You glance over at him, still not entirely sure how to process his presence. He looks so real, but he isn't. You think I'm some kind of nightmare, huh? More like something from a dream I never expected to have. Quite a moist one, I'd say. You don't have to worry. I'm not here to hurt you. This place is mine too. Always has been. Think of it like we're just sharing the space now. And that you have a roommate that just happens to be a ghost. That simple. His words are oddly comforting that you can't help but to let out a laugh. Not that simple. Crowley nods, and for once you see him being sincere. No more sly grin. Uh-huh. Take all the time you need to get used to me. I'm never going anywhere. You always feel Crowley's presence before you can see him. You've been staring at that little screen for hours now. Isn't there something more productive you could be doing? You don't have the right to comment on how I waste my time. Crowley chuckles and leans in forwards towards your phone. Shut it. You're staying here, so I'm allowed to. He hovers so close, it's like he's about to touch your screen, but his fingers phase right through it. You feel his fingers brush against your thumb. It's an odd sensation that's cold and fleeting. Short videos. Popular now, it seems. He pulls back slightly, his gaze trailing over your screen before returning to your face. Didn't you mention to your boyfriend the other day that you wanted to study more often? You notice a subtle bitterness in the way he says boyfriend. Study what? Whatever you wanted. Isn't your boyfriend on his way to becoming a doctor? You don't want to get left behind, do you? He floats in a chair opposite you and crosses one leg over the other with his head tilting slightly. I once wanted to become a doctor too. You noticed the change in his tone when he said that. Well, life fell out and here I am, I guess. Crowley quickly stands, his snarky tone returning as he waves off the seriousness of the moment. But you still feel something heavy. The bitterness of his earlier words lingered. If you were still alive, maybe you could study my boyfriend. He's a hard worker. What happened when you said life fell out? Never knew ghosts could get sad. What happened to you? Crowley shrugs, nonchalant as usual. Problems, money, school. My dad wasn't exactly the nicest guy. Kinda screwed my life over. Notice how his voice turns quieter for a moment, like he's gritting his teeth. I could forgive my dad, so to say. Yeah. Because my last straw was another problem. I mean, not really their fault I ended up this way, but I still don't like what they did to me. You notice his voice tighten slightly at the mention of this person. You get the impression that he really hates this one person. I could have thugged it out, I guess, but I gave up and here I am. He says it with so much aloofness that it's hard to tell if he even cares anymore. But hey, being a ghost isn't so bad now. He grins, fiddling with his noose like a toy while glancing at you as if waiting for your reaction. Isn't so bad, you say? Uh-huh. Crowley's smirk widens at your words as he leans back, looking at you. Because I still have something to care about. Something I'm confident in getting now. Very recently, that is. He gives a dismissive wave of his hand, finally letting go of his noose and shoving the hand to one of his pockets. You know, like what they say about wandering ghosts, there's a reason they're still here in this world. Why would they linger in a world where they don't belong? People can hardly see me. And I'm no exception either. Well, I guess everyone's got their own little delusions to keep going, it seems. Even ghosts. You see Crowley shake his head at your words. No, I wouldn't call it delusion myself. I'm a ghost, but my thoughts are real. Want to know more what kind of thoughts I have as a ghost? No, I think I'm good for now. Alright, if you say so. You know the offer will always be there. I like being interviewed. I take pride in being a ghost. Sort of. You roll your eyes at his words, shaking your head with a little bit of amusement. The offer is tempting, but you also haven't been able to talk to Abel today. Okay, give me some space now. I need to get some sleep. Crowley raises an eyebrow at your words and speaks in a teasing tone. Lies. It's more like, I need some space to talk with my boyfriend. You click your tongue, acknowledging his point with a resigned sigh. Yeah, you got me. Alright, I'll leave you to it then. Have fun when he's around. You watch as Crowley waves his hat and fades away from view. The room always feels lighter, yet emptier without his presence. You pull out your laptop and initiate a video call with Abel. He had promised to call you more often, but it's been a few days since the last time you two even talked on the phone. He always seems so busy with his internship. After a moment, the screen finally lights up and reveals Abel's face. Hey there, darling. I'm so happy you called. You know, I've been thinking about you all day. Sorry I haven't been able to call you today. It was so hectic. Today was fantastic at the hospital. Oh, you wouldn't believe all the things I got to do. You see Abel's excitement is palpable. Like how it's always been. His voice is full of energy and pride. So listen. I was in the OR for most of the day. We had this incredible surgery and a appendectomy, but the patient had some really unusual complications. I got to assist with the procedure and watch the whole thing. It was intense, but so rewarding. The way the surgeon navigated through those complications was just... You try to focus on the things he's telling you, but you feel like your mind is elsewhere now. It was just so cool, you know? His voice snaps you back to the present. Oh, yeah. It's really an amazing opportunity for you, love. I'm so happy you decided to take on this internship offer. Your focus keeps drifting. It really is. Well, listen now, it was... He continues without skipping a beat while you nod along. Your mind drifts again at his voice, reflecting on the distance that seems to grow with every conversation. Anyway, how's my favorite person doing? Hope your day was good too. The question seems almost secondary, much like an obligation on his end. You always tell yourself about how genuine his affection is, yet he doesn't even seem to remember making time for you. Just the usual, busy day at work, nothing too exciting. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I know I've been so busy, but I just get so excited about all this. But sorry, I want to go ahead and rest now. His smile is warm and his tone loving, but the call's end feels somewhat abrupt. I can't wait to see you. I'll try to call you more often from now on, okay? Take care. Take care too, Abel. The call ends and Abel's image fades from the screen. This is not the first time he doesn't live up to his words. You shouldn't be surprised anymore. He's always so affectionate with you, but it feels hollow. You turn your laptop away and decide to just knock yourself to sleep. With a sigh, you turn off the lights before settling into bed. The next day arrives, and with it, the start of your work-from-home job. It's boring and tedious, but the pay is enough to make it worthwhile. At least you're spared the long commutes and the early mornings. It makes you think of Abel, your boyfriend's internship. He's always talking about the grind. Those long commutes, 8 hours on his feet, constantly learning, constantly pushing forward. Off to a bright future, just like his father always wanted. Everything seems to fall into place for him. He's driven, focused, sure of his path. Born with a silver spoon in his mouth. And yet, Abel, whenever you start doubting his affection towards you, you always remind yourself how admirable he is. Smart, ambitious, loving. Handsome too, with a well-off family. He's got it all. You couldn't ask for a better partner. And yet, being around him seems to pull you down. You feel like a spectator in his life with how wrapped up in his own world he seems to be. You sigh, staring at your screen, but the numbers and words blur. You're not focusing at all. Hey. When you look up, he's already there, watching you with that same expression. He's leaning casually against the wall, like he's been there the whole time. Crowley's here again. But weirdly enough, you didn't even feel his presence this time. You don't want him to be here. Not at this moment. Worst timing ever. Crowley, I didn't hear you come in. Of course you wouldn't. You were lost in your own thoughts. And I'm a ghost. I don't need doors. He hovers a little closer to you. Think about your boyfriend again? You blink, taken aback by how easily he reads you. I heard last night's conversation you had with your boyfriend. Abel, right? An aspiring doctor. Your boyfriend. He's not giving you a chance to finish your words. He's the whole package. Smart, handsome, wealthy. People like to say that about a guy like him, don't they? You don't respond, but the discomfort grows. Deep down, you know that's not the case. What do you mean? You know it better than anyone else. You know exactly what I mean. Crowley leans in slightly towards you with a bitter smirk. For someone who has it all, he can't even meet your most basic needs. Despite his sarcasm, you find it hard to argue. But hey, he's busy, right? Always too busy for you? Because he always has time for his friends, his job, his future, but not when it comes to your needs. You're just there to entertain him when he's got no one else to be with. You were never his priority. It's all just pretty words to distract you from his lack of genuine effort. Crowley keeps going on, tilting his head to the side as he studies the changes in your expression with a disdainful grin on his face. You're not sure if it's directed at you or at Abel. You ever wonder if Abel really respects you? Or are you just another check on his list of things to make him look perfect? Maybe it's time you stop pretending he's the whole package, huh? You open your mouth to argue, but the words die in your throat. Crowley isn't wrong, and the truth stings more than you want to admit. He doesn't care enough for you. It's crystal clear. Believe his actions, not his words. There's something unnerving about how accurate Crowley is. Like he's been observing the cracks in your relationship this whole time. You're wrong. He tries. He's just busy. Yeah, too busy. Busy enough to make you doubt if you still mean anything to him at all. It is the damned bottom of the barrel. You flinch at the venom laced in his words. Man, what a wimp. These are the things you've always felt, but never dared to say out loud. And here Crowley is, laying it all bare. You deserve someone who actually sees you. You're not some kind of trophy in his perfect little life. Funny thing is, even a trophy gets put on a display. You're just an afterthought. Despite the way he delivers the message, you can feel that it comes out of a place of concern. Crowley hovers away and gives a casual shrug, like the heavy words he's just said didn't even matter. Anyway, I've said more than I should. Can't be bothering you when you're busy at work. Why did you say so much then? Your heavy energy is really impacting my mood, especially since I'm a ghost haunting this place. Being a ghost makes me sensitive to energy. And, well, I don't want to see you wasting your time on that boyfriend of yours. His words still hurt, but you know it's just the harsh truth at this point. He reaches out, giving your shoulder a pat, but his hand passes right through your body as expected. Just cold air where his touch should be. Wait! Crowley! Before he can respond, he's already gone, fading into the air without a sound. You stand there for a moment, lingering at the strange mix of comfort and confusion he's left behind. His words replay in your head even as the room falls silent. You turn towards your couch and sink into it, your mind swirling with thoughts of Crowley's unsettling truth. Oddly enough, you do feel comforted. Maybe because, for the first time in a long while, someone's really understood you. The day drags on, your work from home tasks growing more tedious by the minute. You nod and thank your higher-ups before ending the call and stretching your back and putting the laptop aside. You feel drained. No, that would be an understatement. You've been exhausted. Both from the job and from your spiraling thoughts. You keep thinking back about what Crowley said and the reality of your relationship with Abel. It hasn't left your mind ever since. You decide to make your way to the kitchen, hoping to make your favorite drink to wind down after the day. As you stir the liquid in the cup, your mind wanders back to Crowley's words. His sharp, cutting remarks about Abel, the ones you haven't been able to shake off. The worst part is, he wasn't wrong. You stir the drink more forcefully, trying to focus on anything else as it makes harsher, clinking noises. It's crazy to let him get under your skin like that. A ghost of all things. You shouldn't be thinking this much. But then again, Abel's behavior. Your thoughts trail off, interrupted by the sudden buzzing of your phone on the counter. You turn around to reach your phone to see who the caller is. Abel's name flashes on the screen. You contemplate whether to pick up the call or no, and you hear a familiar giggle. Now gotta pick it up? Crowley, you're here again. He's already there, hovering by the counter with his pair of green eyes that stares at you intently. You click your tongue as you glance down at your phone again. Abel's calling, but Crowley's words echo louder in your mind now. Come on, aren't you curious about what he wants to say this time? Crowley tilts his head as he asks. He's daring you to test what you already know. The ringing feels almost obnoxious now, and Crowley's presence makes the decision harder. Or, you could just let it go to voicemail. As much as he says he misses you. You narrow your eyes at him. Give him a taste of his own medicine. Just this once. The phone stops ringing, silence filling the room once more. There it is. Crowley chuckles softly and drifts back with a smug expression. You want to brush him off, but the truth is, you've been feeling it too. His voice gets under your skin like a splinter. It's so frustrating. You feel like crying, just letting all of this finally sink in. Crowley's influence shouldn't be this strong, but you can't help it. A part of you wants to cling, to how much he seems to understand you, like he's peering into your soul. You know, it's not crazy to want more, to want someone who actually cares about you. I mean, that's what a boyfriend should be doing in the first place. You glare at him, but you barely have the energy to argue because you know he's just speaking the truth of your feelings. Don't torture yourself for much longer. You're still alive. Come on. Even the dead knows how to make better decisions than you. Compared to last time, you feel that Crowley's words feel less like mockery and more like concern. Huh? Your phone buzzes again. This time a text from Abel, asking why you didn't pick up. Oh, look at that. Guess it's actually important to him now. Or did ignoring his call just bruise his ego? Put the phone on silent, say Crowley, leave the phone and confront Crowley. Pick up the phone and answer the text. I'm gonna at least answer the text. You force yourself to pick up the phone, typing out a quick reply to Abel's text. Crowley watches with a smirk on his lips, observing so intensely. You know he's judging you. Harshly. Maybe you'll bring up your concerns with Abel later. Maybe. What did you say? Just told him I'd be replying later. Huh. You turn the phone on silent, setting it aside and take a seat at the table. Crowley follows you, almost pleased. Guess you're not in the mood for empty conversations tonight, huh? He hovers near you, his presence almost comforting in a strange way. It's unsettling how much easier it feels to sit with a ghost than to deal with your boyfriend. What's wrong? Still struggling to find the right words? Crowley's voice turns softer. His eyes study you with a mixture of amusement and something like concern. Why don't you just take it slow for a bit? Give yourself a break. Abel's not going anywhere. The situation isn't going anywhere. Relax for a moment and allow yourself to think clearly. Decide if this is what you want. Deep down, you realize how bizarre it is to feel comforted by a ghost. You should be seeking understanding from a living person, not from someone who's no longer part of this world. But here you are, finding solace in a spectral being. Sometimes, all you need is a little break to sort things out. Don't be so hard on yourself. You nod slowly, finally letting yourself give in. You've gotta go for now, but remember, taking care of yourself is the most important thing. You've been through a lot mentally. I'll make sure you get that break. Crowley's voice softens, and he begins to drift away. You watch him go, and his presence weakens, then gone, now left alone with your thoughts again. In the days that follow, you start to take Crowley's advice seriously. You still reply to Abel's messages, still talk to Abel, but your heart isn't consumed by that constant worry and overthinking. You respond when it feels right, but the conversations aren't the center of your world anymore. Crowley told you, stop giving it the only power it has, your attention. Hey. Oh, Crowley. Crowley is around more often now, always around the corner. His presence used to be scary, but now he feels like just a friend to you. This evening, you find yourself curled up on the living room couch, watching a movie. You haven't been talking with Abel as often, but it doesn't bother you like it used to. You pop a popcorn into your mouth with Crowley floating on the sofa. This is the kind of show you like? What, judging me again? No, I like it too. For the briefest moment, you catch a faint blush on his cheeks, but you brush it off as a trick of the dim lighting. It's hard to imagine a ghost blushing. You see Crowley pick up a popcorn as well and shove it into his mouth, munching on it. Ghosts can eat too? Of course not. I don't eat, as much as I still want to enjoy these human treats. He grins smugly, leaning back against the couch, although his head passes through it a little. If you can still eat, what would you like to have now? Good question. I'd say cookies. Chocolate chip cookies. Didn't take you for the sweet tooth. Crowley rolls his eyes and shrugs. Everyone said that back when I was human too. I know, I'm too rigid. You raise your brow at his words. Is that how you were described when you were alive? It's because I was just never myself back when I was alive. That's why I said, being a ghost is like a second chance in life. I was too worried about what other people thought, too lenient, Too much of a yes man, back when I was human. Too naive for believing all that could lead me to a good place. See where that got me? Your eyes drift to the noose around his neck, the grim reminder of how he left this world. A part of you wants to ask, but you swallow the question. The story's written plainly enough in the details. It already speaks for itself. So which one's the real you? Don't know. Isn't the answer obvious? Crowley smirks and reaches his hand out towards you, but you avoid him. It's weird when you try to touch me. Your hand just kinda goes through everything. It feels eerie. Crowley blinks and laughs, shaking his head as he retracts his hand back. You're always such a riot. He ends the laugh with a sigh and falls silent, watching the TV show again. The TV show's a movie about paranormal activity in a house, with ghosts bothering the homeowners. The eerie scenes and ghostly apparitions on the screen remind you of the spirit Crowley had helped you get rid of. You turn to look at Crowley, who is sitting beside you. He's still silent, watching the movie with an unreadable expression. Hey, Crowley. Huh? I've been wondering, what do ghosts really do? I mean, in movies like this, they can do some pretty scary stuff, can you? Crowley glances at you for a moment, then turns back to the screen. Depends on the ghost. Not all of us can do the stuff you see in movies. Me, though, I can do some things, but it's mostly just floating around, watching things. You know, the usual ghost stuff. Huh. Usual ghost stuff, you say? Yeah, don't believe in those silly horror movies. Ghosts like me don't have any crazy abilities like how they portray us to be. Okay, I see. His response feels oddly vague, but you accept it without question and just laugh. The movie continues and you laugh along with Crowley at a particularly funny scene. It feels good to share a moment like this with him. After a while, you start to feel hungry. Glancing at the clock, you think it's time for a snack. Something feels off. Time hasn't moved at all. Why is the time... What's wrong with the time? Nothing's wrong. You feel that he might be hiding something. No, Crowley. You must have done something. Why would you accuse me like that? I literally just told you earlier that a ghost like me can't do crazy things like in the movies. Manipulating the clock? Nah, I'm just your friendly neighborhood ghost. You're not sure how you can word what you want to say. Then why are you looking away? What? You're not being honest. You're looking away from me when you talk. I've noticed this habit from you. I don't know. I just feel like you will look away and say certain things sometimes. I mean, you wouldn't do that without reason, right? So you're not as stupid as your boyfriend like I thought. I see. Took you long enough to notice, huh? You turn around, startled to find Crowley's face only mere inches from yours. Don't panic. What? What do you mean? It was all going so well. I was convinced it would stay that way. I was so close to trapping you in my realm forever. His usual mischievousness is replaced by something darker, more unsettling. Why are you upset? You've been avoiding the truth for ages. Surely you wouldn't mind this. The hell are you talking about? This isn't a game! Well, it is, but not this! The air shifts, becoming almost suffocating. Oh, you think I'm playing games? This isn't a game. It never has been. I've always been dead serious. They called me too rigid when I was alive. You? I told you. I'd give you time to relax. Nothing's going anywhere. I've been making that happen. You can no longer see where Crowley is, but you still feel his presence really strongly around you. I'm not letting him walk all over you again. And you need someone to help you see that. That doesn't give you the right to mess with me like this! Has being with Abel made you so oblivious that you can't grasp something so simple? What a waste. I'm trying to help you, but you're too blind to see it. Sometimes, talking isn't enough. It takes a shove. Maybe that's exactly what you need. You attempt to back away, but your legs feel like lead. Crowley's presence envelops you. It feels like an oppressive force, wrapping around you like a vice. Stop! Your voice falters as his presence suffocates you. When you come to, you're lying on the couch. The first thing you notice is Abel's voice. Hey, babe? Oh God, are you okay? I just got here moments ago. You blink, trying to make sense of what just happened. Your head pounds, and as you sit up, you realize something's missing. Crowley's presence. The ghostly presence you become familiar with. It's gone. Huh? What happened? Abel looks at you with worry etched on his face. You passed out, like, right after I got here. I mean, I don't even know how long it's been, but I'm glad you're awake now. I was just about to take you to the hospital. Despite Abel's presence, you can't shake the unsettling feeling gnawing at you. The absence of Crowley leaves an eerie emptiness. But it's hard to think straight when you're still trying to process what just happened. You remember how angry Crowley seemed to be earlier. You're not sure what he meant by trapping you in this realm forever. You should be glad that he's gone. But you still feel very uneasy. Baby, are you okay? You reach for Abel's face, your fingers brushing his cheek as if to ground yourself. He smiles gently, but there's something in your heart that feels off. Hey, I'm okay. Calm down, I'm more worried about you. You look pale. What happened? Are you sick? He wraps his arms around you, pulling you into a soothing embrace. His touch is warm, but it doesn't comfort you like it used to. There's a sense of heaviness in your chest that seems to grow when he's near. You feel a combination of anger and disgust towards him. I'm sorry I haven't had time to see you again. You know how it goes. I finally managed to spare time today. I'm sure you can forgive me, right? He pulls back and offers you a smile, but you can't return it. Even as he tries to reassure you, the disconnect between the two of you feels stronger than ever. You start remembering Crowley's words. You want to be happy that he's here, but his affectionate tone only drags you down. Something about him makes you feel repulsed. What's going on? You seem a bit off lately. I noticed it, you know. Your texts are less frequent and they feel more curt. Plus, you seem spaced out during our conversations. It breaks my heart. So tell me, is something bothering you? You feel worse knowing he's right. You've been distant, preoccupied, but there's no way you can explain why. Not without telling him about Crowley. You need to tell him about Crowley now, even if he's not here anymore. Abel, Yeah? You pause. Something inside you pushes forward. I want to break up. The words spill from your lips, shocking both you and Abel. His eyes widen in disbelief and your heart races. Wait, what? Your hand flies to your mouth and you feel panic rising in your chest. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean it. You didn't mean it? I cheated on you. You didn't mean to say those words, but when you tried to explain something else, well, something else came out. You cheated? You grip your lips, feeling as though something else is controlling your voice. No, I didn't mean that, Abel! You want to tell him about your experience with the ghost named Crowley. I said I want to break up. But you can't stop. You keep saying you want to break up with him instead. Darling, tell me what you mean you cheated. You tried to fight it, but it's like your own body has turned against you. It means exactly that! I'm sick of this, sick of how one-sided everything feels. You never listen! What are you talking about? I'm here now. I'm trying my best to make you happy, babe. That's what you always say to me. But you just say a lot of things. You don't follow through. And I've gotten sick of it. Of you. Of your excuses. Of being here. Of playing the role as your partner. That's why I cheated on you. What are you talking about? Who? Crowley. I cheated with Crowley. Crowley? What? Crowley Lenore. You know him, don't you? You're screaming inside. You feel your thoughts racing in pure panic. You don't understand why you can't stop talking. Where is he? Isn't he? Doesn't matter. You're too reckless to guarantee he's dead and buried. Crowley's leagues ahead of you. You're way too self-centered to be cautious, especially with all the safety nets you have, aren't you? Abel's face goes pale. He steps closer and extends his hand in a weak attempt to soothe you. Baby, you're not making sense right now. Please, calm down. You see an edge of panic lurking beneath the surface of gentleness. Crowley couldn't just sit by after you ruined his life. He couldn't let you win. Crowley, what are you talking about? I didn't kill him. I don't even know someone named Crowley. You're just saying things, babe. Are you crazy? I never killed anyone. I'm not capable of that, please. I never mentioned anything about death. My guy, you are basically just like telling us that you killed him. The hell? All I've been doing is just study, babe. You don't know who to believe. Crowley's influence makes you want to take his side and echo his words to Abel. But then there's Abel's face with his desperate look as he responds to the accusations. You can't figure out what's real anymore. Come on, babe, you're saying weird things. Are you having an episode again? I am going to pummel this man! Let's talk, okay? Let's figure this out. Just calm down. Abel reaches out to you again and tries to pull you into a hug, but you slap his hand away. Keep your hands off me, murderer! What? I am not a cowardly murderer who's too afraid to get his own hands dirty. Yes, I'm talking about you, Abel. Your lips are your weapon. Your wealth is a shield. Your influence, all of that drove me to my freaking death! The raw anger in your voice is not your own. It's Crowley's. Abel stumbles back. A shock and disbelief flashes across his face when you pick up the knife. Wait! What are you doing? He's not the confident and happy figure you've known. He's just scared. He thinks you're going to kill him. Your mind is split in two. On one side, you're screaming at yourself to stop and get a hold of yourself. On the other side, you hear Crowley's voice moving your body. Admit what you did to Crowley! Admit what you did! How do you even know all this? You weren't there! About Crowley? Yeah. He would have had a good life. If only he hadn't done what you did, none of this would have happened! You stole everything from Crowley. His scores, his chance, his future! That internship was never yours, Abel! My career, my life, it was all lined up. And you took it because you couldn't handle seeing me succeed. No, I didn't. It wasn't like that, I swear. You don't know what you're saying. Please, stop this. Please, baby, this isn't you. Whatever this is, we can fix it. We can talk. Just put the knife down. This isn't you. It really isn't me. He's pathetic, isn't he? Always running his mouth. It's sickening and lazy. Abel's words are drowned out by that chilling voice whispering inside you. Crowley, stop this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to hurt him. Darling, not you too. I could never have anything when I was alive. Ever! Don't stop me! This wimp right here ruined it all for me. I worked so hard. So hard. He ran over me. He took everything. Your feet move closer and Abel crawls back at the same time. Please, don't do this. I'm sorry for whatever it is. Just tell me what's going on. The grip tightens on the knife. His words don't reach you anymore. All that fills your mind is the overwhelming need to silence him. Still wouldn't admit it, even though you're going to die. Crowley's overwhelming need in your body to kill Abel. He deserves this. He's taken everything away from you too. Your time, your life, your love. It's time you took everything back. We're similar in a way. You stop just right in front of Abel. He looks at you with wide, terrified eyes, begging for his life. But your body moves as the blade gleaming under the dim light. No, no, please! Oh, that's that sound again. Okay, have fun, Abel. Good night. Have a good EBs. What have I done? This isn't happening. You see Abel's lifeless body on the ground, bleeding from his chest with its mouth agape. Blood pools around him, bright red seeping onto the floor, staining everything in its path. Much better. You hear Crowley's voice echo in your head, rich with satisfaction. You stand, frozen, and stare at the reality of what you've done. You killed Abel. No, this isn't me. I didn't want this. No, but you did. You've always wanted him gone, haven't you? Now it's done. You're free. You feel your chest heave and tears well up in your eyes, but Crowley's laughter fills your mind. I killed him. I did, silly. I did. Don't take the credit away from me. I've always wanted my revenge. The blood isn't on you. It's on me. Abel's terrified eyes is burned into your mind. The sight of him, you know it will never go away. Turning his precious darling against him, right in front of his face. Priceless. Honestly, I couldn't have planned it better if I tried. Sure, I'm dead, but still got everything I wanted, so who's really winning here? Now, I just need a body. You don't want me stuck in your head forever, right? No. But let's be real. It's so much easier to control you from here. Even if death comes knocking one day, you'll just become a ghost and stay with me forever. You'll have nothing left except me, right here, in your head. Ending 2 out of 3. Forever with you. Being dead is a blessing after all. Anyway, that was Phantasmiac. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this game for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And yeah, I like this entry. Also, it was a bit draggy at some parts. I like how there were so many red flags being shown of Abel throughout all of the different routes, but whether he deserves to die towards the end of those, I'm not gonna say anything about it, because, like, revenge is a very messy topic. It's an incredibly messy topic, but I do hope we'll get to see more from this developer sometime in the future. The aesthetics are just... I do enjoy the aesthetics for this game. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And, as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.